All praises to the Most High in Christ. Come to you today. We just want to go over some scriptures and some videos. What the subject is why uh, what was the true motive behind the nations joining together to cut us off from being uh, a people? What was the hatred? Why did they all want to take us in captivity? Why did they target us? Why did they target us? Why couldn't they just rule their world in their own? And God divided the nations. Why didn't they just rule their world in their own space? Why didn't they just rule that? If you want to rule something, why you want to rule the whole world? You know, that was always strange to me. I'm sure a lot of us ask that question or wonder, why do Esau travel out of his, the nations travel out of their habitat, the land that God gave them to rule over somebody else? What was that about? What was that about? It was covetousness. It was one of the hardest things for me to accept is that a whole nation of people, a whole world of people hate me and my family because, I didn't understand the Bible. I didn't understand, the reasoning behind it. I didn't understand it. I really didn't. And that was the hardest thing for me to really digest and to understand until after, I'm starting to understand it more and more now as we see these things happening, as we see the racism, as we see the devil being revealed in these last days. So I just want to kind of go over some things to help us realize, help us understand why they hate us and what was their true motive. And we're going to go back to the beginning. We're going to go back to the beginning and check out some things, right? We're going to go back to the beginning and look at Esau. And that's the story. That's where you begin at. Because why? Esau is the beginning of the world. Let's get that. Second Esdras. Can I get that? Yeah, I can get it. Second Esdras. Can I get it? Let me see. Okay. Let's see. Second Esdras. Let's start at 6. How do I blow this thing up? I got to learn that. It's got to be some kind of way. Well, I won't. Hopefully we can see it here. 6. This is the prophet Ezra. Then I did consider these things, and they all were made through me alone. Wait, no. That was the angel talking for God. Okay, let's go on down. This is Ezra asking a question to the angel. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? How shall we know the times? How should we know the dividing of the times? Or when shall the end of the first? When shall be the end of the first and the beginning of the following? So they understood. They understood that there was going to come a time where the Israelites would rule after these nations had their chance to rule the earth. Right? Okay. And he said unto me, from Abraham to Isaac, he's explaining the dispensations of the times. From Abraham to Isaac, when Jacob and Esau was born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, The end of the world. See this now. This explains John 3:16. There's two different worlds. This world is the world right here, Esau's world. The beginning of the world was when God from the creation of man on until now, the flood and all of that. You know, the heathens rule. Okay. And the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. There's going to come a time when Isaiah 45:17. Read Isaiah 45:17. Let me finish this first. Isaiah 45:17. Somebody read it. Somebody get it and read it. Let me read. Esau is the beginning. Oh, okay. I read 7. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's beginning. Okay, I'm going to Isaiah 45:17. Isaiah 45:17. Now we're talking about worlds, right? This is how we understand John 3:16. Remember, we just read. Well, Esau's world. Esau would be in power when the time of the Gentiles will be completed. That's another world. That world would be the end of that world. And this read Isaiah 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. I ain't gonna be no end of our world when we get saved from this world that we're in, from this world that we share with the wicked. We're under their jurisdiction right now. And ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded. World is another world without end. Okay? So we can see that there's two worlds, right? There's the world that Esau is playing his role in with the other nations, and there's a world that the Israelites will live forever. Their world will not last forever. John 3:16 is not talking about the heathen world, because the Israelites is the everlasting world. He said you shouldn't be ashamed of that world. You shouldn't be confounded like I was confounded for years. A lot of Christians are confounded. How could we be different? How could we be the only ones that's going to be, that the world was created for us, the only ones going to be saved? Let me jump down here. Let me see. 6:54. Let me see. How come I didn't get that? Let me see. Next, the previous chapter. No. View. Let's see. Gotta view the whole chapter. Let me see. I'll get it. Okay. This is some more for you Christians or people who you're having a hard time believing that God is only for us. And the Gentile world, they had their chance to rule, and they all took us in captivity, right? They took us in captivity every time they got ready to rule the world. They had us in captivity. All the nations. Daniel 5. Daniel talked about all the nations and the beast. He looked at the statue. He represented that ruling. He represented. He expressed the nations ruling over the world. Everybody having a chance to rule. He gave dominion for every creature to rule on the earth, every man. The nations decided that they would take us in captivity because it was God's plan, for one, and this reason right here. I'm going to read it to you. Let's just 2 or 3 verses. Let's start at 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord over all creatures. Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. There's a chosen people, and we know who that is. That's the Israelites. They are the church. They are the saints. Okay? All this have I spoken to thee. This is Ezra, the prophet Ezra. Have I spoken to thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. That's the reason right there. They knew that God gave us the title deed to the earth. They knew it was for us. And I'm going to tell you something else. Let's keep reading. This explains it more. This is Ezra proving that the Apocrypha is canon to the rest of the Bible. As for the other people, which also came from Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle. God said that about his creatures that he made. That's what he cared. That's who he cared. Oh man, that's hard. That's a hard one there. I'm gonna let the Holy Spirit deal with y'all on that. I ain't gonna try to. And hath likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from the vessel. And y'all say that's hard, man. But look, God gave them a chance, just like He gave every one of those nations a chance. He said, "I'm putting Israel out here. They're gonna be a blessing to you. They're gonna bring you my word. They're gonna show you how to keep it. They're gonna help everybody live in harmony, and they're gonna help you have my mind, so you can rule as gods on the earth. You can have dominion of the earth." Now, if you bless them, you'll be blessed. If you curse them, you'll be cursed. And they all took us in captivity. I'm gonna show you the doing of that. Okay. All right. And let's see. And now, O Lord, verse 57, these heathens, which have ever been reputed as nothing, their reputation has always been nothing. They always had a nothing reputation. That's their reputation. Nothing. Well, how did they become nothing? Because they didn't want to obey God. They didn't want to obey the Most High. When you don't obey God, when you turn from hearing the law, then you dwell in the congregation of the dead. Nothing. If you dead, that you nothing. You no good on the earth. You no good to society, to humanity. If you are a dead zombie walking around doing everything God told you not to do. Reputed as nothing. Their reputation has been, these people are nothing. They, vagabonds, murderers, rapists, killers. They're nothing to God. God is what gives us our self-worth. The laws give us our true self-worth, not yielding your body, obeying Satan. These people, the nations are, trust me, the nations who say the law don't matter, God's mind don't matter, they are the chosen people of Satan. The spiritual demon Satan. They are the devils on the earth. Which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. God, what he did is he didn't stop us. He gave us free will. We chose to worship their gods. Their gods was fake gods. But we chose to follow them. And he didn't stop us. That's what he means when he say we were given to his hand. It didn't mean that God said, here, take them and do what you want to with them. Press them in the wine press. He told Satan, he said, the devil in Job, he said, have you considered my servant Job? And Job said, no. And the devil said, how can I? I said, I wouldn't even think about tempting Job. You didn't gave him too much. Okay. So it wasn't like God took the heads from around us. We did this. The nation of Israel did this to themselves. All right. we have been given into their hands. Now, we know the Bible. What's that song? That song that says, "In His hands, in His hands, oh, I'm in His hands." I can't think of it, but anyway, we know that the Bible said, Christ said that the Father has us in His hand and covered with His other hand, and no man can pluck us out of His hand. We can't pluck ourselves out of His hand. That's one of the scriptures that Eternal Security used right there. But that was talking about Israel, not the Gentiles. Not the Gentiles, right? That was talking about Israel. So as we were given into His hands, if the world now be made for our sake, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? And how long shall this endure? So you see what's happening here? God, we gave up our position. We gave up our position. Let me show you our position. This is our position. Deuteronomy 7:6. This is what they were jealous of, right? Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto Himself above all people on the face of the earth. Now you see what Esau was crying so hard about. He sold his birthright, but he understood that meant the earth was given to him, it was supposed to be given to the firstborn. That blessing, that covenant blessing was supposed to go to the firstborn. But God changed it. And He gave the firstborn a chance to rule and gave him a chance to prove himself. He gave him a chance to be a blessing to his brother, Jacob. He tried him and he tested him. He gave him a chance to have that power first. And what did the power that God gave him? To rule the earth first. He could have ruled the earth in Assyria, Petro, the Caucasus Mountain, Mount Seir. He could have ruled there and had a beautiful life. Ishmael did. Ishmael went on in his land and got rich and was rich in his land. And you didn't see Ishmael coming out. He still ain't came out of his land to try to conquer any other land. You know? But Esau couldn't do it. Esau understood this is, the devil. We understand that this was every man's covetousness, desire, his lust was to rule over all people, rule the earth. That's just something in us, to rule the earth, rule over people. I won't be much longer. I'm going to show you some pictures and kind of show you some slides, and just want to help you out to show you why these people, they didn't just come out of the caves and in the Renaissance with this idea Esau wanted Jacob's blessing. He wanted his blessing back. Why did he said, let's look at that. Let's go look at that. Okay, what we're about to read is the story of how Jacob was instructed to disguise himself as Esau and go in and receive the firstborn's blessing that was the heir to the covenant of Abraham and Isaac. The firstborn was supposed to receive that blessing, but God changed it. And it came to pass, this is Isaac, that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, but he called Esau, his elder son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, I am here. And he said, Behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death. Okay. And he said, I know not the day of my death. He said, Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapon and quivers, bow and arrow, and thy bow, quivers and bow, and go out in the field and take me some venison. Go kill a deer. And make savory meat, as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may be, that my soul may bless thee before I die. He planned on giving Esau that blessing to the covenant, that covenant blessing. All right. And Rebekah heard it and spake unto, and heard when Isaac spake unto Esau his son. And Esau went in the field to hunt the venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake to Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak to Esau thy brother, Bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I commanded. Go now to the flock and fetch me from hence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loves. She know how to cook it, didn't she? And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and he may bless thee before he dies. So Jacob did that. Jacob said unto Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am smooth. Like a hairy garment. He came out like a hairy garment, that red, and like a hairy garment. He came out red like a hairy garment. Didn't mean the hairy garment, his skin was the color of a red garment. No, he was hairy as a baby too. So we getting that. We picking up these bits and pieces. My father preventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall be cursed, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch them. So he went and fetched. He went down and he fetched everything his mother told him. Rebekah took the garment and a raiment of her elder son Esau, took the clothes of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob the young son, so he could smell like Esau. Esau was stinky. Y'all know Esau always been stinky. And she put the skin of the kid goat in his hand and upon his smooth neck. So I guess he was hairy on the hand like the Neanderthals, and he had hair on his back. Right? Okay. And she gave him savory meat and the bread, and she had prepared into the hands of her son Jacob. And it came to pass, and he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? He didn't recognize that voice. He said, Wait a minute, I know something ain't right. Jacob said unto him, I am Esau, thy firstborn. He didn't believe it. I have done according to thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, and sit and eat my venison, that thy soul may be blessed. And Isaac said unto him, Son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Behold, the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto him, Come near, because he ain't believing that. Come here. Come near. Deers are hard to catch, and you done caught it, killed it, dressed it, and cooked it. He said, that's pretty quick. I pray thee that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. Because he already think, Jacob. And Jacob went near his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. See that? And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother's hands were hairy. So he blessed him. Here's the blessing. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat. And I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near. He did eat, and he brought him wine, and he did drink. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near, kiss me, my son. And he came near, kissed him, and he smelled the smell of the raiment of his raiment, this garment, and blessed him, and said, the smell is my son as the smell of the field, which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of the heavens, this is the blessing, and the fatness of the earth, and the plenteeth of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, the nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brother. And let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee. That's the same thing God told them. Told the nations. Blessed be he that blessed thee. All right? You see that? Now you see that? That's what Esau wanted. But I thought Esau didn't give a darn about the blessing. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made the end of the blessings, blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out of the presence of his father Isaac, that Esau his brother came in from hunting, and he said, and he also had savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise, and eat of his son's venison, that thou soul may be blessed, may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, firstborn Esau. He's put that firstborn in there. Right? And Isaac trembled very exceedingly. He started shaking and said, where is he that has taken the venison and brought it to me? I have eaten of it before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. He can't take the blessing back. I blessed him. I gave the blessing to him. I can't take it back. All right. And when Isaac heard the words of his father, he cried with great and exceeding bitter cries, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O father. Now that's the part right there. If it was some reason that all of a sudden he didn't even know, if he didn't know what the blessing was, why would he start crying like a baby? Oh, you gave him my toy. No, he knew what the blessing was. They knew what the blessing was. If Esau knew, then Isaac knew, Abraham knew. He knew the covenant. It was tied to the covenant. The blessings, you can find them in Romans 9, the 9th chapter, where it talks about everything that Jacob and his descendants received from this blessing right here that came from God, passed down through Jacob to pray, to bless it, to lay on his son, his firstborn, or the son that God chose. And he said, thy brother came subtly and others tricked me in a trick subtly, and has taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not be rightly named Jacob. Is not he rightly named Jacob? Because Jacob means supplanter. Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. 2 times he took away your birthright, and behold, he hath taken away my blessings. He took his birthright away, right? So you see what's happening here? You see why they cut us off from being a nation? That's Esau joining, uniting, soliciting the other nations to take his, he think it's his right. Donald Trump think it's his right to take everything from us and give it to his people. They understand this like Esau understood it. They understand it. We don't owe you nothing. Y'all work for us for all them years. That's a biblical curse. And these people understand what the hell is going on. They understand what was done. This is their book. This is their book. They look in this book and see the prophecies. They see themselves. They know who they are. They know who they are. Their purpose is to take this earth back from us. Take that blessing back. We are heirs of the earth. We are to rule over all the nations. That's what they're getting out of this. They thought about this hard. And all through the Bible, you'll read where Esau did everything he could when we was in captivity by these other nations. Before he got strong, before his time came to rule, when those other nations came in to rule over us, Esau did everything he could do to block us off and to help them hold us into captivity. The same thing the Native Americans did, those 5 civilized tribes, the white groups, the same thing that his white bastard children, the terrors, are doing now to hold us in the hand of the elder brother of Esau who think the earth is rightly his. Hey man, this thing is real. This thing is real. The same thing, right? So we're going to get on into it until these videos and just show you a few AI pictures. Esau cried. So let's let you know he knew what this thing was. Let's show you Isaac's blessing to Esau. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, wait a minute, rightly so, he took away my birthright, and behold, now he taketh away my blessing. He took my birthright. What you mean he took your birthright? You gave your birthright. See how the devil, he was a devil back then, man. He was lying. He said, he still didn't say, well, I really sold it to him, Daddy. Don't die with that burden on you like that. Don't die with that. He could have put things right then, but he was the devil then. He was the devil then and a liar. He took my birthright. Same thing he's saying now. So that's why he's taking the earth back from us. He got strong. He built himself up, his power up, and he taking the earth back from us now. And behold, now he taketh away my blessing. He took our birthright, and he disguised himself. Oh man, this is awesome. He disguised himself like Esau disguising himself as us to fool us. He fooling us. This is the devil putting in Esau's mind to fool us and make us think that we are him and he's us. That we are the Gentiles and he's God's chosen people. Man, this thing is so clear. It's clear as night and day. This thing is so clear. And behold, now he take away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Anything? You got anything left for me? He said, I gave it all to him. And answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord. And all his brothers have I given to him for servants. All his brothers, he gave them to servants. He gave the nations to us for servants. Given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. I anointed him. And what shall I do now unto for thee, son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his head, up his voice, and wept. He wept. He still didn't repent, right? He still didn't say I was wrong for selling it to him. I didn't, I was going to trick him out of it. I was going to beat him in here and get it back. I was going to steal it back from him. And he beat me to it. That's what he mad about, man. That's what he mad about. He didn't even see it coming, man. Just like we didn't see him coming. And he waited to the opportunity times, man, to just do everything he could do to tear us down. They hunt us down. They do everything. He was hunting. He was out there hunting. He still, now when they catch us by surprise, ambush us, and hunt us down. Ain't that devil something, man? Ain't that devil something? Rightly so called the devil. And here's Isaac said, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of the heavens from above. And thy sword shall thou live and serve thy brother, and shall serve thy brother. And by thy sword shall thou live. You're going to end up serving your brother too. And you're going to serve him up death. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break the yoke off of thy neck. Now, we had them in captivity during the Dark Ages. We ran them up into the Caucasus Mountains for 1,000 years almost. And they broke the yoke off, and that's when they came back and the Renaissance and scattered us among all nations. The devil come to steal, kill, and destroy, to divide and conquer. That's why they scattered us over the earth, right? They scattered us. Okay, so I'm going to show you some things about that. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith his father blessed him. He hated him because he had that dominion. He had that covenant with God. And was it really the covenant with God? No, that's the part that Esau didn't give a damn about, being in covenant with God. He wanted to rule over the earth. He wanted to rule over everybody. He wanted to be the ruler, right? And Esau said in his heart, the day of mourning for my father are at hand. And will I slay, then will I slay my brother Jacob. We're going to look at Matthew 21 and 33, be my last scripture. Let's see. Okay, I got to hurry up. Matthew 21 and 33. And you go back and read this yourself. And another parable, there was a certain man. This is Jesus telling a parable, not for no reason at all, but to help explain. He's helping to explain what happens to us, what's going to happen to us, and the motive of Esau, right? The motive of Esau, and why the hatred, and why the behavior of him toward us. The behavior of Donald Trump and white supremacy. It ain't just something crazy. That's that same hatred, generational hate. And I'm going to tell you something about how they kept that going. Because, they taught their children about that generational hate. And I wouldn't even doubt if they didn't teach them that they were Esau and they had to keep that family feud going. And the reason why they had to explain to their kids the reason why they got us in captivity. They ain't telling us, but I'm pretty sure their children know. They read the Bible. I'm pretty sure in some of those secret Bible studies, some of them white pastors, that's how they can continue to hate and continue to act like, hey, we all right, man. We all right. Because you know what they saying? Because they did it to us first. Esau Because you hear the white pastors all the time say Jacob stole Esau's blessing. You hear them saying that, man, all the time. They read it like we read it, but they still come out and say Jacob stole Esau's blessing. Well, we think they just talking about some fantasy Bible character. But no, they talking about us. The reason why we hate y'all so much is because y'all took our blessing. We supposed to rule this earth. That's why we got our foot on y'all. We ain't gonna never let up. We don't owe you nothing. You supposed to be our slave. I was supposed to, that's the firstborn's blessing you got, and you stole it. The world is supposed to be under my foot. And so we see where Isaac said, you go ahead and you take this world from your brother, and he couldn't see it that, maybe he did see it. Maybe he did see it, but maybe he understood. Maybe he heard Esau sell his birthright to. He sold his birthright. Now you hear what he said? He sold his birthright. So let's read this. Another parable: a certain householder which planted a vineyard. That's God planting a vineyard. That's us, planted us in the world, and hedged around about it, and digged a wine press, and in it, and built a tower, and let it out to the husbandman. And when the time of fruit drew near, he sent his servant to the husbandman that they might receive the fruit of it for him. His servants went to collect his Israelites. The prophets went out. Okay, let my people go. He sent his servants to the Egyptians, to the Assyrians. They had us in captivity. To Babylonian. The prophets went out. To a Medo-Persian, he sent his servants. The vineyard is us. That's Isaiah 6 chapter, 5 and 6, or 6 and 5. We are the Lord's vineyard. Just Google that. He sent his servants to receive his vineyard, to receive the fruit, to receive us. We are the fruit, the offspring of Esau and Jacob. The offspring of Jacob. The 12 tribes and their offspring. Offspring. They die, they leave offspring. And the husbandman took the servant and beat one and killed the other and stoned another. Again, he sent servants more than the first, and they did unto them likewise. But last of all, he sent unto them his son, saying, they will reverence my son. All right. We know what that is. That's Jesus. But when the husbandman saw the son, he said unto them, this is the heir. Now see, Esau always knew. This right here lets you know that he always knew that Jacob was God's heir. He always knew that God set Jacob in to do that. He knew he was the wicked, and he knew Jacob was the righteous. Just watching Jacob's behavior. Watching God's hand on Jacob. He knew he didn't want to have nothing to do with his birthright. He knew, he said, this is the heir of God. He didn't say this man coming to steal the vineyard from us. He come to try to take, our identity. He didn't say that. He said, now this is the heir of God. He come out of Jacob. Right? That's why Joseph's seed and the genealogy and the prophecy was the seed of David and all. That's why they explained it like that. This is the heir, Joseph. He came from David. Come, let us kill him and let us seize on his inheritance. And they caught him and cast him out of the vineyard and slew him. See, that's what I was trying to show you. This is the reason why. We're following their motive and their behavior. This is what archaeology and sociology and sociology trace people. That's what the science is about. You trace people through the Bible. You can trace their behaviors, their movements. You can trace how they're thinking, why they do things they do through the Bible. You got to study the people, though. You got to study them a linear line of logic through the Bible. You hear a little, there a little. You do that like I just did. But we still study we study the people and their movement through the Bible, and we can find out who they are today and why they are who they are and what they're doing, their behavior today on the earth. We see it right here. And let's see. So we're going to listen to this video, this TikTok video I put together. You know what I mean? Let's see. They keep us alive so they can keep. We're in a war, right? Okay, I'm going to do a little commentary and show some pictures. Okay, here we go. With the enemies of God, I know they've guided this. All praise to the Most High in Christ. I just want to talk to you a few minutes about this war that we're in. We're in a war, right? With the enemies of God. I know they've got it disguised like they're your friends and, all the nations ain't bad. We don't rule the world. We're not ruling the world. We don't own everything. We don't rule the world. We are just people in the world with you. Everybody's equal. But we realize that the nations don't look at us as equal with anybody in the nation. They portray us as the bottom of the pit. And I just want to say today, the enemies of God, we call them the devils here in the Israelite camps. We said the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That's what Christ said too. He said the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. What's he come to steal? What did the devil really come to steal? If you knew this would let you know who the devil really is. The devil came to steal the title deed to the earth. How was he going to do that? He was going to do that by killing and destroying. That's Esau's blessing. Psalms 83 said the enemies of God became confederate, joined together, and crafted a crafty and drew up a crafty plan. They gathered in a crafty council and drew up a crafty plan. And they tweak it every so often, I think 50 or 60 years, every generation. Hey, I want to say something about that too. I was thinking, as I was listening to myself, I was thinking, that's what that government system is set up for, right? Because just think about it. The founding fathers. Let me go over here. The founding fathers. These guys here. Was it Jefferson? We see George Washington, Common Law Handbook. These guys, they said to their people, we have delivered you a country. All you have to do is hold on to it. You got to remember why we are here. So listen. They tweak this system, of course, because there's every time we awake or some event where the Most High sends saviors to help us escape. These 500 years were some of the worst times of Jacob's troubles, right? They were some of the worst times of Jacob's troubles. But The Most High send people, send his messengers to collect his fruit, his vineyard, to save us from the hands of them. As we start waking up and he's delivering us to stop them from totally annihilating us, because we see their hatred. But I want to read from this book. Read from this book. This is that book I just showed you. This is the first page. It's the introduction page. It says, there is a war that has been raging since antiquity, ancient times. It's that war that Esau said, I'm gonna make sure I get him back for this. We just went through all that. It is a war for our hearts, our minds, for our flesh, for our very souls, to bring all mankind under one world order. Novus Ordo Seclorum, Seclorum. As George Washington put it, orchestrated by a small group of cunning, ambitious, unprincipled men who have subverted, that means by illegal or trickery, changed their identity, changed their position as the servants, because the government serves the people, right? But this is actually twofold. They set it up to be working for all people, but this government was really set up to hold Esau's position over his younger brother. Subverted our powers, our sovereignty into the servant that he was supposed to be, and the nations were supposed to be. See, this government is working for all the nations to subvert, to take our power and give it to them, to steal our power over the earth. The title deed, some call it the title deed, our power on the earth, our substance, our rulership, our jurisdiction over all the nations. After they all had us in captivity, they think that they are getting away from that prophecy of being chastised or being, they didn't bless us. So they thinking they're getting away with their punishment, because they have risen so high. They helped Esau, and he's supposed to be helping them now. He's supposed to be helping all the people. They came over, and this government is falling. When they said, okay, make it good, because it looked like these niggas done woke up, and they getting ready to go and put us in captivity. God is getting ready to do it. So say it ain't so. Prove that. Go ahead and prove that the Bible ain't right. We need you, Trump, to put us back, everybody in power. Read the Wisdom of Solomon, 2nd chapter. Read all the way through it. How they thinking? They thinking wrong. He said they thinking wrong. They think that it's going to work, that they're going to be able to, this particular group thinking that they're going to be able to continue to do what their forefathers did to us. All the nations have joined with this nation. But God said the first shall be last and the last shall be first, right? So those nations that decided to come in and make this last stand with these Edomites, because they see God waking up a great army, and they are about to lose their position, and a lot of them didn't get a chance to live a rich life and to enjoy. Some of them were young. You see a lot of that police and army and ICE and all of that. They ain't taking no chances. They getting everybody that could have some black blood in them. They getting them out of this land, man. They getting them out. They getting them out. They still don't believe that God is going to stand up for us and going to bring them down. That's why the pride of their life, the pride of their hearts have deceived them. Okay. Subverted the power of the people, that's us, and usurped. They illegally stole our unalienable rights, our inheritance. Jeremiah 17:4, you shall be disconnected from your heritage. They did it. Usurp for themselves the reins of government. In other words, we're supposed to be governing ourselves, and they stole it through their unjust laws, saying that their laws that they make are ordained by God, and they only enforce their laws on us, and they pardon their own people. Okay, so they got the reins of our government. They say, well, we got to do it because they sleeping. They waking up slow. They don't know who they are, where they from. Well, the Human Rights Division, the rights of humanitarians, they say that when that happens to a people, you're supposed to teach them who they are and restore their government so they can start ruling in their sovereign land. You're not supposed to take sovereignty over them. So God made that law. Everybody on the earth is doing exactly what Trump is doing in the lands where we are. Everybody had us in captivity. Why would they make a law saying that's wrong? That's God did that, had them do that. And now they hate each other. They're using that law on each other. Well, look at you, what you're doing to God's people. Well, who are you to come and try to tell us we ain't doing right in our country? We doing our people wrong. When you over there got God's people doing them wrong. We released them. Everybody else released us, right? For they have put in place of the delegates, that's us, will of the nations, the will of a small and artful and enterprising minority to make the public administration the mirror of their inconcerted and conglomerates. Project. I can blow that up, can't I? Okay. Inconglomerates project of faction rather than the organ of consistent and wholesome plan digested by common counsel and modified by mutual interest. Okay. All right. See, so it's, instead of doing our bidding and being in common counsel, digested by common counsel and modified by mutual interest, instead of doing our bidding and treating us right, if you are going to take advantage of the resource and in other words get the cream off the top, then make sure we get our portion. It's enough for everybody. It's enough for everybody. They said, no, that's the hatred. Okay, but listen to this. But because government failed in their duty to assure a proper education in our schools, they were supposed to educate us who we were, y'all, the Israelites, and our forefathers had you in captivity, but we're going to restore you. We're going to give you, you're going to live over here in these colonies, and we hope y'all can forgive us, and we're going to help y'all, we're going to be a blessing to you like the Bible said. They didn't even consider that. It is the duty of the people to self-educate. We self-educating ourselves. We educating, and that's what they're afraid of. They call it critical race theory. When we educate ourselves, then we are harming them. When we learn who we are, we're harming them. When we get our self-identity, we find out who we are. Self-identify, we're harming them. Self-educate and educate their sheriffs. They're not our sheriffs. You see? They are not our sheriffs. They are not our sheriffs. The Human Rights Court said that we are supposed to get our own sheriffs. The sheriff is the true law of the land. He's the true law, the sheriff. And educate our children. Educate our sheriffs tell them what is right. What are they defending? They're defending our right to be sovereign. Our men are our men and women who's going to be part of our security is going to be defending our rights to exist sovereignly on the earth with the rest of the people without messing with the rest of the people, not harming them. Christ do what he want to do when he get back. Y'all gonna get your judgment. Whatever he do, if he tell us to round you up and take you and let some of y'all live, he gonna let some of y'all live, that's fine. If he gonna stump some of y'all till the blood rise up to the horse's brow, that's up to him. And educate our children. This is the purpose of those series of handbooks and the book Government by Consent. Government by Consent. That's the thing right there. They do not have, no man have the consent. No man have the right to govern, to work in my behalf unless I appoint him, vote for him, and say, hey, will you work in my behalf? Government by consent. Schedule. This is the book that I got the book. It's a big book. Okay, so we just want to look at some things. It's way past time. I should stop. I'm into 1 hour. I know y'all don't. And drew up a crafty plan. And they tweak it every so often. I think 50 or 60 years when generation, every generation, they have to keep tweaking it. Right? Every major event, every major awakening, they have to start tweaking it again. And we see that the Israelites were destroyed, right? What do we mean destroyed? They forgot who they were. By the help of this machine and this devil, by killing us and destroying our knowledge of self. So, I got to get through this. He divide and conquer. He created a government system and laws and called them the laws of the land ordained by God. They stole the identity of the Israelites because the earth was made for our sake, right? We all know all of this. I got a point. They want to steal the title deed of the earth. Look at Matthew 21 and 33, and you'll see the parable. Jesus didn't tell that parable for no reason. He was trying to warn us. Everything's written in the past is for our learning in the future. He was warning us that this would happen. The whole plan of the enemy is in that parable. It's all through the Bible, but kill and who does the devil kill? Anybody get in his way. All right, I don't want to be redundant while I explain that. I should have, but I just want to show you some pictures here. Let's see. This is the first one. Just think, this is just some visual aids to help you think about what happened, because so yeah, here's the way I see it. The Israelites, the northern kingdom, came over here in boats, not ship, boats. And they held a convoy. They stayed together. How many of you think they stayed together? They held that convoy, right? They came all the way through all these seas. Sometimes it was a little rough, and God calmed it so they could get through and blew the wind in the right way and brought them over here. Now, I don't believe that they split up, that they eventually just split up, and went their way and divided and went on those islands and where they are today, that they split up and went on their way, different ways, like those boats, that those boats are going different directions. God blew this one that way and blew that one that way, blew the Cubans that way, blew Jamaica over there, just started blowing them and separating them. I don't believe that's Genesis 49. They said that the 12 tribes chart isn't right. No, the 12 tribe chart is right. I hear a lot of the brothers, Big Judah, a lot of the other people, Sister Deborah, they say the 12 tribes chart is not right. But the 12 tribe chart comes from Genesis 49. It's right. But the people that they're pointing to today are not Jacob's children. That's all you have to say. You don't have to say that the 12 tribe chart ain't right. Because you go to Genesis 49 and you explain what Jacob was describing. The characteristics of the people were on them the same way Esau's characteristic was on him, the same way Jacob was a supplanter and they had to change his name, they changed his personality too. The characteristic of Benjamin, Reuben, Simeon, Judah, all those characteristics passed down through their children, just like Esau's characteristics passed down to his children. Esau's children is the same people he was then. His characteristics passed down through their genes. And the same way Jacob's 12 sons passed their characteristics down through their genes. Right? Now, behavior can be taught. I'm pretty sure that the Incas and the Tainas and everybody over here were hardworking people. Judah, some of our slaves worked there till their meat separated from their bones. So we all was working people. Right? So you go and look at the earlier characteristics, not how they were in slavery, but their early characteristics explain who they are now and where they are and what happened to them to get them in the place where they are. We understand the position and the things that they would be doing in these last days. That's how you recognize the 12 tribes. But we understand, that's why Jesus interjected that parable in there to say that the sum of the tare will look like the wheat. They're going to be in there doing the same thing the wheat doing, but they're going to be stealing our inheritance. They're going to be the youngest nations on earth, the mulattoes. They're going to be placed in there by the enemy. They're going to plant those seeds in our nations while we were in slavery and leave and go their way. And then come back and the crop should be done its job. They're going to look like Israelites. We're going to be mistaken for Israelites. And they're going to be stealing the nutrients from the Israelites, stealing our substance. The last group of people that they plant to steal our substance at the end. Right? And they're going to be gathered up like they're being gathered up now for the fire. All those nations are being gathered up by the angels. By the angels. Now, if you ain't a tare, then you better start acting like some wheat. If you ain't a tare, you better start acting like wheat, man. I'm telling all you nations, and I'm not plucking you up. I'm just saying, if you ain't a tare, you better start acting like some wheat. You better start keeping these commandments. You better start acting like you're an Israelite. I don't care what color or tone you are. I don't care if you're a Gentile. If you trying to seek mercy from the Lord, you better start acting like it, right? Okay. So, all praises to the Most High. These are the different it's the dispensation of time, right? These are the different. There was a time right here. These are the different dispensations of time. These are the things that started forcing Esau to forcing Esau into you know what I mean? Sons and daughters. The Moors, they held government, right? These are some of the things that start forcing Esau into saying into going white supremacy full force, right? Indians, people, our nation waking back up, right? Reading the Bible. Our nation waking up, coming back to the Most High. This is what we should be doing now. As a nation, gathering together in our nation. This is what it should start looking like. Okay? This is what it should start looking like, man. Love. Start loving each other. Right? This is what we used to look like. We got to come back to it. We're going to have to do some of that too. Yeah. We're going to have to do all of this for ourselves, man. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. I'm sure y'all heard about what Ukraine has done, what the United States and the allies of the United States has done. They're going to make Russia drop them nukes, man. They're going to make Russia do its thing, man. Because Gog is going to be standing when the rest of this America, Babylon, fall. It's falling, man. We're going to see all of this happening, man. We're going to see all of this happening. Yeah, we're going to see all of this happening, right? We're going to see all of this happening. We want to see all of this happening, right? We want to see all of this happening. We want to see it happening. We want our nation to be put together, man. We got to do this thing. Yeah, we want to see it happening, right? We want to see it happening, man. It's going to happen. Hosea saw it. But we got to get out from under their jurisdiction. The only way we're going to do that is bring our nation back together. Because they're not giving us nothing else. The Lord is forcing us out of their jurisdiction, out from under their crumbs, eating their crumbs from under their table. And it's going to get worse before it get better. But it's going to get better. We got to come together, y'all. All right? We got to do this, man. We got to do this. We got to teach our own children. We need to stop and get ready to just teach our own children. We don't have to teach them all that fancy education. Just the basics. 8th grade education is all they need right now, and trade, and go learn a trade. That's how we got ahead. That's how we got ahead. It was trades in high school. We had trades on how to build our nation. Plumbing, whatever we need, whatever we wanted to take to build our nation, we learned it in high school. They took it out because they didn't want us to be self-sufficient. They staged this machine for us, man. They built a machine to hook us up to the matrix. Right? Yeah. Yeah. We got to do it, man. That's how it looks. That look good, don't it? That look good, man. Atlanta ain't the only city that's supposed to look like this. Oh, man. Did I show you this one? Man, that looks beautiful, man. I know this is AI generated, but that looks beautiful, man. It's going to happen, man. This is going to happen. And I'm not talking about on the other side. It's going to happen right here. Before we get there, we got to gather up. I know that's going to cause chaos. It's going to cause chaos when we do this, but we're going to be protected. We're going to be protected. He's going to deliver us from this state into the wilderness. Right? After their destruction. When their destruction hit, when those bombs hit these buildings, and none of this going to be standing. Let me see. We done went to, these are the dispensations of time, right? Okay. Now this is about to happen, man. This is what they're about to go through. This is what they're about to go through. This is what they're going through now, man. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. This has got to happen. This has got to happen. He's on his way back, man. He's on his way back, man. Don't this look beautiful? Our ancestors, we get to see them again, man. Don't that look beautiful, man? Oh, man. I can't wait, man. This world really don't have nothing to offer us no more, man. This world ain't got nothing to offer us, man. That's on the real, man. This is what we looking forward to now. And even more so, we're looking forward to this. We're looking forward to this right here. Even more so, this is what we're looking forward to. Yeah, even more so, this is what we're looking forward to. Right. That's what we're looking forward to. That's going to be the best feeling, man, when we see this world burnt down like that. And this might be before the nukes hit. This gonna be before the nukes hit. Yeah, this is gonna be before the nukes hit America. It's gonna go into ruins before the nukes hit, right? This is after the nukes hit. Yeah. So all praises to the Most High, man. I hope I've been a beneficiary to you all, family, and just hold on. Hold on. Do your first work. Do your first work. Repent. Come back to your covenant. Come back to your God. Let this man be in you which was also in Christ Jesus. Put away those childish things. Love your family. Love your brother. Love them into the kingdom. All right? And we'll see what y'all going to do. God bless y'all.